Okay then, in today's video, we're going to be checking out Solnecta, the new legendary Loomianity Loomian. So with that being said, let's just hop straight on into it. The first set then is going to be a fast offensive Solnecta. We're running 200 speed TPs to be as fast as possible, with 200 range attack TPs to let us hit as hard as possible. The 28 energy TPs will then let us reach 240 energy at level 50, which will let us use 1 Magnify, 4 Ferroblasts or Fire Breaths, and 1 Gamma Pulse. And then the 64 health TPs and 8 range defense TPs are leftovers. We're not going to put them all into health flow, because we want our health stat to be odd since we're weak to icicle traps. For the personality, we can either run nimble or smart depending if you want to be faster or stronger. Then for the held item, we have a few options. We can run something offensive like an essence, shell, power cuss, or even specialty goggles. Or we could run something a little defensive like health amulet or milkshake to make setting up a little bit easier. Then for the ability, we can either run the normal ability Nightlight, which will make dark type attacks deal 25% less damage, or the secret ability Intensify, which will make us immune to being dazed, and if we're hit by a light type attack, we'll get a +1 range attack stat increase. And then finally for the moves, we're running Magnify to set up. Ferroblast is going to be our strongest bug stab option. I'm running Gamma Pulse because it's our strongest light stab option, but you could replace this with Lightspeed Rate if you want priority, or Luster Loot if you want a recovery option. And then the last move I have is Fire Breath to serve as coverage. But there are a lot of options like Psycho Blast or Peace of Mind. Okay then, hopping into the first battle, I think actually the speedy Solnecta looks pretty good for this battle. Now, there are a couple of things I have to watch out for, like Gienta, Grimuline, maybe Melee Dakuda, but other than that, I think we're good. Okay then, let's lead off with my mask and try and get some Babs down. That is a Maraith against a potential Eliguana. Now, they should know this is most likely my mask, but it's fine. I'm gonna go for a Babs of my own and see. Okay, they probably think I'm an Eliguana, so that is probably pretty good for me. Let's get some Babs down. I don't think Dokkamori can get rid of them, but it can set up icicle traps, which is really bad for my Solnecta because we can't really get rid of them super easily. I don't have a fire type, so I'd need to go into Eliguana to get rid of it somehow. So let's go for a Provoke. That way it also can't go for a Baffle either. So if they want to switch out, it has to hard switch out. We're most likely going to take an Earthquake Clone next turn, I'm guessing. Okay, they did go for a support move. It honestly could have been either Baffle or Icicle Trap. I want to lean more towards Icicle Trap though. Let's go for another layer of Babs though. I don't really see any reason why not to. I still have my Clutch plushies, so I'm gonna get a little greedy. There's the Maraith. Okay, now, I think we just go for Fadeaway immediately. I want to go into Eliguana because Light type, I get to block a potential Shatter. But if my mask is in the last slot of my party, then it's basically its ability is useless. And because we haven't taken any health, if I just like wait a few turns for the passive energy to catch back up, we can actually fool him again with a fake Eliguana. The main issue is, my only like other light type is Solnecta, but I don't really want to switch that into a potential metal type move. So, yeah. I think my mask has done its job, honestly, so I think I'm fine with just basically wasting the ability now. So yeah. And thankfully, I didn't go into Solnecta. That would have been really bad. Maybe... I'm guessing they probably knew it was a mask, but I'm guessing because Shatter still had like the no effective sign, they just didn't want to risk it at all, I guess. Here low, we can just go for Mud Spatter, or do I want to Zip Zap? We're going to outspeed it, so let's go for Mudslide, I guess. It's not going to do a huge amount of damage, but it's just so I don't pivot out. I just want to see what they're going to do. Shatter. Come on, man. Come on, man. You didn't use it against my mask, but you used it against my Eliguana. Interesting. I don't really want to lose Eliguana, but I don't really like... I guess I just Zip Zap here. Zip Zap should be enough to KO it. Okay, good. And then now, I think we go into Mamas to get it back out of the final slot, and then I can fade away again to like replace with something else. Oh, but that way it would be coming in as an Eleguana low, and it's going to be so obvious it's not an Eleguana because it's on red health. I guess we go Solnecta then, just to bait out like Lurchienta or Grimuline, I guess, first. Although, it does kind of suck that we got rid of Wraith because my Solnecta has Fire Breath, specifically for some Loomians like Wraith, although, yeah, there was no way I was going to risk a Solnecta taking a Metal-type move. There's Chienta. Yeah, here we always go into Sukami here. I think we're not... Yeah, we're Lightning Rod. We're not the Light-type immunity one. Either way, they're not going to go for a Light-type move. If we can try and bait them to go for a Light-type move, that would be great. But we would need them to be, like, specialty gloves. And because I went for Brawn Boost, they are definitely not. I think we just go for a Body Crash. I think it's most likely threatening a KO. And even if it doesn't, we have got a... Cedric to get rid of it. Oh, they do go for... Oh, actually, it's not a Power because I just realized it's just a Shine Shell. I guess we might have potentially could have risked it to go into Solnecta there, but from a Brawn Boost Shell, I don't think Solnecta really wants to take that, even if it is resisted. And yeah, Chienta does live it. We could probably go for a Rejuvenate there. They did, what, 120? So that means it would have done, like, maybe around 80 damage? Without the shell, I'm pretty sure. So I think I'm actually just dead either way. Which is really not good, because Grimuline still exists. I guess I'll try and go for a Rejuvenate. It might have actually be... Oh my gosh. That miss is huge. I think it's actually worth sacking the Eleguana. I think we have to save Sukami for the potential Grimuline. I can't throw away Sukami, it's a little bit too important. I did kind of throw away Eleguana, but we got rid of Wraith, so I think we're good on like entry hazard removal. Now we can go Cedric, or we could actually go Mamask. But no, I think we go Cedric here, just to get rid of this. We just go for Fawn Slam. We don't really need to predict any switch-ins. This is just the strongest option I have by far. If they actually have their Wiki Wiki, that is going to be phenomenal. Infernix. I don't think you have any way to hit Solnecta. I really don't. I really don't think you do. Also, Eleguana would have actually been really good for the Infernix as well, but I think Solnecta can deal with it. And because Wraith is gone, they don't have a light type switch in, other than... No, I think I said Wiki Wiki earlier. Waka Waka. I don't know how I mix their names up. I would love to go for a Magnify, but I feel like I should Gamma Pulse. But I don't think Infernix is going to do anything to me, so I think I will risk a Magnify. That's kind of like the entire purpose of the speedy offensive Solnecta. You want to get a Magnify up, and then you just start nuking things. They do have Draco Beam at +1. That's completely fine. Now they're at -1. I could even risk going for a Nulla one, but I won't. I'm not going to get too greedy. We can just fire up a Gamma Pulse here. They go into Doku. That probably shouldn't take 2, right? Yeah, and I outspeed it by a mile. That's fine. We actually outsped that Infernix as well, so I'm assuming that might be either a smart one, or it's like a bulky one, because I'm pretty sure Infernix is 89-bit speed, if I remember correctly. Okay, they have Dokmori, Infernix. I don't know what their last one is, so I'm just gonna go for Gamma Pulse again, just for the potential switch in to Grimuline for whatever reason. I think Gamma Pulse is fine here, and yet it is Grimuline. Yeah, Whack-a-Lack would have been a really bad option for them to bring, because it turns off... Actually, I'm assuming It's Fungus Curse. Or Mycotic, I guess is the new name for it. So it gets rid of the light type immunity, which would be really bad for it, but I have a quite effective move for it. Grimuline. I wanna say I outspeed it. I really do. But I don't know like what people use. Do people run defensive Grimuline or speedy Grimuline? I think speedy one outspeeds me, which is like why I'm like a little bit concerned. So I think I have to switch out. I think it's a little bit too risky for me. Right. Quick punch. Okay. Might be like bulky offensive maybe then. I'm not entirely too sure what this is running. But we can just go for Seasong here and go into Solnecta again. Okay, I'm not complaining. The main issue is though, we can't really go for a Null Magnify. I think we just fire off a Gamma Pulse. We're gonna like be hitting really hard, so I don't think it really matters. Also for this Solnecta, I am running the secret ability, but you can also run the normal ability, it's completely fine. But for this one, since it's like speedy offensive, if they can give me a free +1, I'm definitely going to be taking it. Why would I like turn that down? But the normal ability is generally better because it makes setting up quite a lot easier. I still don't really want to take a quick punch, to be honest, so we're switching back out. No, not gonna let you do that. Also, yeah, I'm assuming they went into Grimuline expecting a Magnify again, but I don't think it's really needed anymore. If I get rid of the Infernix, though, I will definitely try to 1v1 the Grimuline, but a little risky right now. We can just go for Seasong, we can let them take me out, and then here, I think we can actually go into Mask. Because we've still got our Clutch plushie, I can go for Fade Away, it should threaten the KO on the Grimuline because it's at -2, and then I get a pivot right back into my Solnecta. Right, that's definitely what's going to happen. Infernix, easy, we fade away out. Okay, that went perfectly. We're not really going to do that much damage, and actually, I think that'll get health back, so I think that's actually a secret ability Infernix, which means defensive. Okay, good to know. So that means it most likely will take a Gamma Pulse, potentially. I want to go for Magnify so bad, but I really don't think I need to. I just need to spam Gamma Pulse at this point. But yeah, Fire Breath would have been pretty good, but you could also run, like, Psycho Blast right now. I'm probably not going to go over, like, a melee version or, like, a mixed one or a bulky one right now. I'm probably going to save that until after the new season comes out, just so I can, like, actually show them in competitive queue rather than Dream Teams. Because right now they're locked behind Dream Teams for like Judgment and I think it's Blaze Rush, the fire type move that you get to increase your speed while also doing damage. I just need to give it to like a normal Loomian that can actually lead a rally first. Okay, well, because they're out of energy, either they're gonna switch out or they have to go for a rest, so that's just a free Magnify, right? So definitely not gonna be turning that down. Now, what are they gonna do? I mean, I just go for a Gamma Pulse. I can go for 2 Gamma Pulses without worrying about anything. I would like to go for a Wait, but I feel like if they predict me to do that, they're going to go back into a Grim and force me back out. So, I think I just click Gamma Pulse twice and take the damage and just the Infernix knockout, if that's the only one I get. Okay, they do stay in. They took a while to select what they're going to do low, so I'm guessing, okay, am I going to wait? Am I just going to fire for Gamma Pulse? And I guess it didn't matter. I just one-shot the Infernix, so now, let's actually see. Can I live a hit from Grimuline's Quick Punch, or do I outspeed it? Oh, I outsped it. Okay. Well, see you later. Yeah, Speedy Solnecta is pretty good. I mean, once he gets a Magnify off, it is nuking things. Now, I will say, that matchup would have been a lot easier if I had Lightspeed Ray instead of Gamma Pulse, but that's up to you. I wanted to try Gamma Pulse just for the raw damage output, but if you want to run Lightspeed Ray, that's completely fine. You probably want to run Smart Low instead of Nimble. And now, let's move on to the bulky offensive Solnecta. We're running 200 range attack TPs with a smart personality to hit as hard as possible. The 28 energy TPs will let us reach 240 energy at level 50, which will let us use 2 Peace of Minds, 2 Rejuvenates, 1 Lightspeed Ray, and 1 Ferroblast. And then, the 192 health TPs and 80 melee defense TPs will increase our overall bulkiness. Also, we're not maxing out our health, otherwise we'd have uneven health stats. For the held item, we can either go with something defensive like a health hamlet or a milkshake, which will let us set up easier, or we could go for something offensive like an essence, shell, or power cuffs. Then for the ability, we can actually use any. The normal ability Nightlight will make dark type attacks deal 25% less damage, while the secret ability Intensify will make us immune to being dazed, and it will also increase our range attack stat by 1 stage if we're hit by any light type attacks. And then finally, for the moves, we're running Peace of Mind to set up, Rejuvenate to keep us healthy, Ferroblast as our strongest bug stab option, and for my light stab option, I went with Lightspeed Ray for priority, but you could also replace this with Gamma Pulse if you want the most damage potential, or Luster Loot if you want a nuller recovery option. Although there are other options like Psycho Blast or Fire Breath if you want coverage options. Okay then, hopping into the next battle, now we're using the bulky offensive Solnecta, and looking at this team, I like the look of it. I think it'll be mostly fine. The main issue is like maybe Joltooth, and Mutagun probably is going to outspeed me if it's running any speed investments. Oh yeah, they also have a Sumobito, which I'm not really a fan of trying to fight against. Okay, let's lead off with my mask and try and get some babs down immediately. There's a Cephalops. I kind of want to provoke it first so it can't go for Ice Skull Traps, but I don't think it's going to go for Ice Skull Traps against a potential Eliguana. I feel like they would just rather hit me. Yep, that's fine. That'll do not that much damage, I can take that. No, they're definitely going to go for Tsunami. The main issue is though, Cephalops is pretty scary. I don't really have a switch in for it. If we're expecting a Tsunami, I could go Seadric. Seadric is probably going to have to try and weaken the Cephalops before Solnecta comes in, but if I go Seadric first, I'm going to give it all of its health back that I just dealt to it. So I think I have to rely on Solnecta trying to 1v1 it. Another issue arises when it potentially could be Rageful plush it. So let's slap down this turn to remove that item. It is Faith Shell. Okay. That's actually completely fine as well. Tsunami. Okay, now here, we could save the Mask, but I don't think we really need it. It's mostly just like a lead Loomian. And also, again, I can't really fade away into anything without taking too much damage. So, I think we just go for... I want to go for Babs, so I can get nice chip damage, but I also want to go for Provoke to prevent Ice Skull Traps. Okay, nice. They just went for the KO. Now, I'm going to try and go into Solnecta, and hopefully Frost Beam won't do too much damage to me. I think we probably could just two-shot it with Ferroblast without even going for a Palm, but we're definitely going to outspeed Cephalops, and eventually I will out-heal the Frost Beam that is incoming, so I think I'm going to Palm. Let's, see if I'm right. How much is this potential Frost Beam gonna do? Oh, Soldering. That is great. We're actually running the normal ability on this one, which means I'm gonna take less damage from that. So it's not like a full resist, it's like half a resist. So I would gladly take that. We could go for another Palm, but I don't really want to get too greedy. I think I'm just gonna go for a Ferroblast now, try and get some damage on something. Cephalops stays in, and I just one-shot it. Oh. Come on, man. I thought I one-shotted it. Also, they have Sleet Shot, not Frost Beam. Okay. I don't really want to show off a Lightspeed Ray right now, because they might not be expecting it like later into the battle, and I might like unexpectedly get a knockout because of it. But at the same time, I also don't really want to waste energy going for Ferroblasts. I could also use Cephalops to go for some more Palms, which isn't a bad thing, but we're most likely going to be forced out of the battle by a melee attacker, so I think I'm just going to KO it. And yeah, I can't really get through Mutagun very well. unfortunately, because like Lightspeed Dre, yeah, I can outspeed it with priority, but it's resisted, so I would need to go for Pharaoh Blast. Even then, I don't really want to like take a Brawler type move. And okay, it's actually Joltooth. Ambush is very scary. Also, weak to electric, but his melee tank isn't weak to electric or ancient, but is range tank. I don't really have a great switch in for Joltooth either. We could potentially take a hit from the Joltooth, but this is also where Lightspeed Drake can come in. So it's like, is it worth me Pharaoh Blasting first in case Lightspeed Drake doesn't one-shot it, or do I just Lightspeed Drake? I think I just Lightspeed Drake. I think I'm just thinking about it too much. Okay, we did pretty good damage. They go for Thunder Crash. I think I live on a lows. Oh, the Vault Shell, actually. I do live. I do live. That is great. I honestly thought it was Soul Burst, so when I saw that shell, I was a little bit scared, I'm not gonna lie. I can just take the KO here, that's completely fine. But at the same time, can't I just go for a Rejuvenate here? No, that's a little bit too risky. If this is running speed investment, it potentially could outspeed me. So I think that's a little bit too risky. I can't warrant it. I have got health amulet, so I'll get a little bit of health back for that exchange, but yeah, I don't know if it would have been worth going for a Rejuvenate. Knowing my luck, I would have got critical hitted there or something. Oh, there's Duskit. Yeah. Dusk isn't going to do anything. I can go for Rejuvenate here. It could be a mixed Duskit. I didn't see anything. Also, yeah, because you can't use Solnecta in rank, that also means you can't use it in the competitive queue. So I'm just battling random people in my server. Let's go for a rest here. So some of them might have like maybe not the best PvPs, but I'm doing what I can to showcase this, okay? But yeah, like I said in the first battle, I'll probably showcase more Solnectas once the new season comes out for like mixed, melee, and whatever else I want to showcase. I'm not sure if it really needs any more moves, although some people have been talking about like me potentially wanting to buff the secret ability. Okay, glad I didn't attack it there. I don't think I ever said that, but from obviously people saying that, I guess they are expecting me to buff it because it is a little bit weak in comparison to its normal ability. I think the secret ability Intensify is fine, it's a good ability, but I think Solnecta is generally, most of the time, going to be rocking its normal ability. But at the same time, like, I guess, it's kind of like hard to buff it, I guess, because it doesn't, like, if it gets hit by a light type move, it gets a free +1 range attack increase. And on top of that, it's also just immune to dazes, which is a pretty good ability. Like, on any other Loomian, that would be a really good ability. But the issue is, it doesn't really need the free +1, and because it doesn't, like, get the immunity to light type moves, so it's still taking damage, people don't really like it that much. But here's the issue. I can't, or I should say, I don't really want to make the light type moves immune, because that way it would have two immunities then. One to light type attacks, and then also to dazes. So I don't think that's the issue. I think +1 from getting hit by a light type move is fine. That should not be +2, that would also be overkill. So, I think then my only other option is to change the daze immunity to maybe a frostbite immunity. Let me in the comments down below what you think about that. That's like the only idea I have for right now, but at the same time, maybe we don't need to worry about it for now, and we can revisit it at a future date. Because I wouldn't be doing that change for the new season, I'd probably do it for the next one after it. Potentially if it does need a buff. But, I don't know, like I said, let me know in the comments, or if you think the ability is fine, but maybe like the move pool like could use a couple more moves, that's also completely fine. I think I want to give it a little bit more support moves for like more defensive sets, but Again, let me know your suggestions down in the comments because there's probably a few moves that I'm forgetting that I could actually give it. Okay, this is really not a good matchup. I'm gonna Lightspeed Ray it anyway because if they counter stance, I'm pretty sure it'll fail. Because I already attacked. Let's go, baby! They needed to go for any other move, unfortunately. That was not the right choice. And now we can go for Feral Blast. Okay, well, bulky Solnecta went pretty well. I am definitely not going to complain about that. And yeah, even if Dusky goes for Final Ruse, I mean, I'll take the trade, okay? We actually didn't even need to go for that many Palms either. I only went for 3, which is still a good amount, but I didn't like need to go to +6 for like a lot of other bulky offensive Loomians just to start breaking things. It worked pretty well, okay. I think Solnecta is actually really good though. I think it honestly is the best bug type in the game, or at least offensively. Defensively, it doesn't have like very many like yeah, it's got like good defensive stats, and it's got like a decent typing for defensive, and it has got Rejuvenate Palm. But other than that, it doesn't really have like any support utility type of moves like that much to choose from. Whereas like some bugs might do it a little bit better. But yeah, there's Solnecta. I think it's a pretty good addition to the game.